Hi Commodore 64 friends and enthusiasts. Here is the current issue of FREEZE64, issue 71, which features Forbidden Forest by Paul Norman on the front cover. Now, I interviewed Paul about 2 or 3 years ago, I think 2021 actually, or 2022. I interviewed him, and he made the comment in his interview that he's sorry that it took so long to get back to me for the interview. And the irony is I took so long, I took about 2 years, 2.5 years to actually publish the interview. But here we are, is part one of the interview, Forbidden Forest. The cover image I discussed originally with Paul, I cleaned up, and I think there was some text around this area that I got rid of. And I did lots of different layers, played with the colours and the contrast, and put it through a load of filters in Photoshop CS. I think I'm using CS1 still. And it's cleaned that image up absolutely perfectly. Now, Paul did see a digital version of it, but he hasn't seen the physical version. He should see it sometime this week when his copy arrives. He did go off grid for a while. He emailed me about a year ago and said, I'm going travelling. As much as I love FREEZE64, stop sending it because I won't be there to receive it or read it. But now he's back on grid. He contacted me last week, thank God, and said, all is fine. Yes, please send me FREEZE64. So he's got a copy on the way. So here's our usual contents page. There's Paul with a cool pose there. And there's a few sprites there. What we got? We've got Jerry the Germ, Comic Bakery, and we've got George McFly and Lorraine. Hey, Lorraine from Back to the Future. And there's Marty McFly, so there's Michael J. Fox. Back to the Future appears in this issue under the crapback section because it was so lowly scored in Zap64. But I've actually recently spoken to Martin Walker, who created the Commodore 64 version of Back to the Future, and he's going to tell us why the game came out the way it did and discuss the development of it. Here's the spread for Forbidden Forest. So I revisit the game, chat about how it works, chat about parts of the game. So it's more of a retrospective look at the game. I have a play. There's me scoring 2,000 points on the first level, shooting those spiders. A bit further on in the level, sorry, a bit further on in the game. It received a Sizzler, so it received one of our FREEZE64 sizzling sausages. Now, the Sizzler from us is the top accolade that you can receive from FREEZE64. You get one of these sausages, it says your game's brilliant. There's no higher accolade than the sizzling sausage. There's a lower one, which is the thumbs up, which says your game's good, I enjoy it. But the sizzling sausage says your game rocks. Then we move on to Andrew Braybrook's regular column, where he looks back at one of his games that he produced for the Commodore 64. This one's Morpheus. He chats about the structure of the ship and why it's so large, or it doesn't really need to be large if you play the game properly, the placement of the sprites, and so on and so forth. And then what we do is with each one of Andrew's games is that we, or I, look at all the reviews in game magazines that appeared around that time, and I pluck them out. So we've got the scores here from Zap64. We got Julian's comments about the game. We got some scoring here and some comments from Commodore User, Ace magazine, and Computer and Video Games magazine, and the comments and scores. Moving on to Julian, our own Julian's crapback column, where he looks back at the crap games from Zap64. So he's done the good games, now he goes back and he's looking at the crap games. His Comic Bakery, which only scored 35% from Zap64 and scored 3 out of 10 from your Commodore magazine. I quite like the game. I would have scored it more. It's a high score chaser and nothing else. A lot of fun, good music, great graphics, just a high score chaser. With regards to crapback, somebody emailed me the other day, said, messaged me the other day, why are you doing crap games? Don't think it works, it's not right. It does work because some of these games I haven't played in years, and some of these games some people haven't even played. And so they go, oh, was it really that crap? I don't remember it being that crap. Let me go and have a look. And so you load it up and check it out for yourself. But we also get to know what Zap64 at that time and what Julian at that time thought of the game. Here's Jerry the Germ, which I bought when it was £1.99. Here's Back to the Future, which was released originally by Electric Dreams and then £1.99 for Firebird Software. As I said, we get to chat with Martin Walker in a future issue of FREEZE64 about the making and development of Back to the Future. Secret Squirrel looks at the Ark of Yesod, Bozo's Night Out and Bounder. So he checks out all the secrets within games. Here's the great Paul Norman himself. It's a 12-page interview. There's a VIC-20. That was his first home computer. 12 pages. There's all the games that Paul released back in the day. And our US readers across the pond will recognise those more than us here in the UK because they were bigger hits there first before they were here in the UK. So it's 12 pages. There's Paul again. If you want to know about the hardware aspects of the Commodore 64, you'll have to consult a historian. Well, so where Paul's coming from with that comment is that he's saying that it's not the tools that make the game, it's kind of the designer and the designer's brain, and it's how the game comes out. It doesn't matter what you use. And I'm 100% on board with that, because when I speak about FREEZE64 and people go, what, you create that in Word? And I say, yeah, well, why are you using Word? Why aren't you using InDesign? And I say, it doesn't matter what I use, it matters how it comes out. And if it comes out great and you're happy with it, then what does it matter what I use? And Paul is exactly the same with his games. It doesn't matter what the limitations were with the Commodore 64, it's what you create with it. And obviously he created this masterpiece. This is Beyond the Forbidden Forest, where you can actually walk in and out of the scenery. Quite amazing. So that's 12 pages, interview with Paul Norman, one of my favourite interviews so far. Here's Room Lord from the Mouldy Cupboard, which was originally released by Paramount Software back in 1984. And it's actually quite a fun game. I've kept it out of the Mouldy Cupboard because I want to play more of it. It's really good fun. And then here's our final piece. The final part of our development diary for Inbred, which was produced by the great Carl Hornell. And it's a lot of text in this one, and the reason why is because I wanted just to squeeze the final bit into this issue. I think I left out 2 or 3 screenshots and 1 paragraph, but there wasn't enough then to put in the next issue, so I quickly squeezed it in. And look, there's the game there. Look, I just realised that. There's Inbred there. There's the game. Now it's released. It's available from Cytronic. So that's the development diary done and complete now. But a new one starts in the next issue. So come issue 72, we have a new development diary from the Megastyle guys. Chris Stanley's writing it, and it's absolutely brilliant. We've got some great images as well. Our advertiser on the back cover is New Game Old Flame. It's a podcast which is available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So check it out, www.newgameoldflame.com. So that's it, guys. That's FREEZE64 issue 71. Issue 72 is in the making and will be out in about 2 weeks' time. Oh, and if you haven't got a copy of it, grab your own printed copy from www.freeze64.com.